Speaking.
Is this Billy Hernandez?
Yes, it is.
This is Greg Kihn calling. How are you, Billy?
Really, really well, man. How you doing today?
Pretty good, I gotta say. Pretty good.
Hey, I just want to thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk with us today.
Well, it's not that busy, and it's always a pleasure to talk to people that understand me. So let's do it.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm a little bummed out that you're not bringing your tour to our area here in South Florida.
I'm not going to make a promise or anything, but we're flirting with the booking agents to get us booked down in that area, because I've always loved South Florida. We used to play there back in the 80s.
Yeah.
All the time.
We got a big 80s concert coming up Friday night that I'm going to cover with probably tons of people that you're friends with, or at least have kept in touch with over the years, like the Romantics.
Yeah, I know those guys.
Yeah, Boy George, Katrina and the Waves. I mean, just a ton of people. So we're going to go hang out with those guys this weekend. But you should be on this tour too, man, because you fit right within the demographic of.
Listen, man, I remember. You want to hear a Florida story?
Tell me a Florida story.
I remember, God, back in the 80s, I would say like maybe 81, 82, 83, around that time.
Mm-hmm.
We were playing on the beach in Fort Lauderdale at a gig that was put on by Budweiser. Now you can imagine what was going on that beach. It was like Woodstock. There was 100,000 people on the beach as far as you could see, and every one of them was plastered because they were drinking free Budweiser.
Oh man!
So we're playing with Flock of Seagulls.
Yes.
So we're waiting by the back of the stage, and this white van pulls up, and it's the Flock of Seagulls guys, and they had they had the wrong time, and they got there a little bit early, and the guy with the hair, I've forgotten his name over the years.
Oh God, I can't remember. I remember the hair though.
He says, you give us the van, and by the way, Spuds McKenzie was in a limo.
No way.
And he goes, well, the dog gets the limo, and the band gets the van. No, it should be the band gets the limo, and the dog gets the van. He was really pissed off because the dog was being treated better than he was.
Yeah, well, I can't blame him.
I pointed out to him, I said, hey, Spuds McKenzie is a very famous dog. Don't mess with him. In front of these people. These are his people.
Well, here's a funny thing. Where's Spuds McKenzie right now? He's probably he's 6 feet underground, but yet the Flock of Seagulls are still around. It's amazing how Budweiser promoted the heck out of that dog, and with the commercials and how big that got.
They were unrelentless, and I don't know what the psychological damage to the dog was, but I'm sure he had some weird dreams out of that,
I hear you, but you know what? To heck with Spuds McKenzie. We got Greg Kihn on the line here, so let's talk about him.
All right.
Now, a lot of people are gonna read this and they're gonna go, well, what the heck happened to him? Did he just disappear off the face of the earth after having the worldwide #1 hit with Jeopardy, and the breakup song, which was also parodied by Weird Al Yankovic, which in itself, if your song was parodied by Weird Al, I mean, that's huge. And I mean,
is huge, yes.
I mean, not only, touring the world and appearing on American Bandstand, Saturday Night Live, opening for the Stones, and jamming with Springsteen and winning all these awards and stuff, and for 16 years having your radio show on KFOX in the San Jose, San Francisco market, and besides all of that, becoming a fiction writer. I mean, my God, you've been nothing but busy since the 80s.
Well,
I'm exhausted talking about it.
I like working. I don't like being sitting around on my butt. So for me, it's not really work. It's all fun, and I enjoy it all. But people, it's true. We haven't been around for 20 years, and people go, "Well, where's Greg Kihn? Why? Where's he been for 20 years?" Well, the answer is, I was on the radio for the last 20 years, in between albums. I was on the radio on K-Fox, and I didn't get a chance to go out on the road. I just played the occasional concert. So we kind of dropped off the radar there for a while. But now we're back. It's been 20 years between studio albums. And first of all, I got a great band now. I got my son, Rye. He's on lead guitar. He was a student of Joe Satriani.
Wow.
And he also graduated from Berklee School of Music and a jazz guitar major. And then we got Robert Berry on the bass. He's not only a great bass player, he plays all the instruments in the band, but he's also our producer. And so we go down, actually tomorrow we'll be going down, every Wednesday we go down to the recording studio and we record all day. We're already 2 songs into the next album, believe it or not. And, the new stuff, we worked really long and hard on it. And, there was no deadline or anything like that. It was like, you guys just record until you feel like you're done. So we did. It didn't take very long, maybe a year. And we just went in there and recorded, and then when we got to the end of the album, we put it out. We started writing again. We've already written 3 songs into the next album.
Oh, wow.
Which we're already starting to record now. But, the stuff that you can get right now, Rekindled, my new album, it's all original material. It's all like my son Rye was in part of it. Robert Berry was part of it. Oh, our drummer is Dave Lauser, and he comes to us from the Sammy Hagar band. And I've known Sammy for a million years, and Sammy said, "Hey, you want to use Dave? You can use him for the whole summer until after the chicken foot thing is over." I said, "Hey, I'll take him, man."
Well, I tell you, I'll tell him you.
Amazing drummer.
Well, I'll tell Sammy you said hello, because we're going to be seeing him in about a month or so right here locally. And I've never seen Sammy Hagar live, so this is going to be real interesting.
He's amazing live. You're going to love him.
Wow.
But all the stuff that you're talking about right now, Bill, it's like we're all heritage bands.
Yeah.
I try to explain this to my grandkids. Like, we're heritage bands. We've been around for a long time. Even the people that we open for, guys like the Grateful Dead and stuff, it's like a heritage thing. You guys go on and on. And, we've been playing. The band was formed in 1975.
Wow.
And that was a long time ago. And here's another fact, Bill. Of the 5 guys that were in the original band that cut the breakup song, which was probably our best-known song, there's only 2 guys left standing.
Wow.
And that's me and the drummer, Larry Lynch, and he drank milk and went to bed early every night.
Oh.
I, on the other hand, was drinking Jack Daniels and staying up till 4, snorting coke and, running around.
Sure.
And you would have thought I'd be the first guy to die, but no, I'm a survivor. So it's just me and Larry left. And we had Larry come in and play on the new album on a couple of cuts just for continuity, and it was pretty cool.
Now, are any of the songs on Rekindled based on real life, actual fact, or anything?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's amazing. Because over the years, I've kind of got to the point where I write different kinds of songs. Like, there are several what I would call autobiographical songs on Rekindle. The Life I Got, Anthem, Good to Be Me, Trained Monkey. These are all stuff that were basically autobiographical. And then there's just fiction songs that I just love, like Big Pink Flamingos and Cassandra. And they're just fun songs, and I just kind of made them up. And once I visualized the song, I was writing the woman I was writing the song about. It was easy to write the song. Like Big Pink Flamingos, you can visualize a trailer park kind of a woman with her hair up in curlers and the stretch pants on and chewing gum and all that jazz.
Exactly.
So, and then on the top of all of those things, I also have topical songs, which lately I've been writing. I don't know why. Anthem is one of them. Tell Me Something Good. The Brain Police. That's a great one, and that's a topical one as well. So, yeah, topical, autobiographical, and fiction. God, it sounds like the library, doesn't it?
It does, actually. Well, actually, John Lappin sent me a digital copy, which I'm going to get into this afternoon, and he's also sending me the CD, so this way I can play it in the car, and we're going to do a review on that, and I'll get that back to you once we're done with that. Now, if we can go...
My favorite album, my favorite cut on the album is Big Pink Flamingos.
I'm looking forward to it because here we are in Florida. We have our share of trailer parks, and of course,
absolutely,
we have Big Pink Flamingos here, live ones.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I'm excited to get into that. Now, if we can go back to the beginning, can you tell me at what point in your life did you know that this is what you wanted to do for a living? Because most kids, I was born in 1970, so as kids. We looked up to police officers, firemen. The space program was huge. We wanted to be astronauts. Yeah. Did you know that at a young age this is what you wanted to do for a living?
Oh yeah. It was real easy, man. In my generation, it all started and stopped with the Beatles. And I remember I must have been like 13 or something, and we gathered around the old TV set. Back in those days, it was black and white, and we watched the Ed Sullivan Show on Sunday night. The whole family would be huddled around the TV set. And I remember when the Beatles came on and they had their big debut on the Ed Sullivan Show, and the chicks are screaming and the Beatles are singing, and I pointed to the TV set. I said, that is what I want to do.
So it was initially for the girls?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, look, I first of all, even before that, I was more into the music.
Yeah.
And, it was interesting because I already knew how to play a couple of chords on the guitar because I was a folkie when I was a kid. Me and my cousin had a little folk duo, and we would play at the coffee houses and stuff in Baltimore growing up. And and so when I discovered that the same three chords could be applied to the Beatles that were, that I was applying to, say, Tom Dooley, and I realized that, oh wow, most of these Beatles songs are three chords too.
Yes.
And I realized, wow, I could play a lot of this stuff right now. And I just started in writing it, started in learning those songs, and it was a great piece of my early days.
Now, as a guitar player, are you self-taught, and do you play any other instruments?
I am self-taught, and I'm a well-known lane guitar player. I am terrible. In fact, when I started playing guitar when I was like 13 or something, I learned like the first three chords, and that was it. I kind of learned stuff. I stopped learning. And, I built an entire career out of three chords. It's amazing. But, to me, I was always a kind of a lame-o guitar player, which is funny because my son is probably the best guitar player in town, and here we have the worst and the best in the same band.
Well, the funny thing is, Billy Gibbons says that every song he knows pretty much is three chords, and he says he's a lousy guitar player too.
Yeah, I've seen Billy at a small club playing on a cigar box guitar.
Yeah.
And it blew my mind, and he actually played it, and it sounded pretty good.
See, so you ain't that bad after all, because I'm putting you in the same boat as Billy Gibbons.
Yeah, there you go.
Now,
But, really, in my world, I have been, I've always been a songwriter, so I wasn't expected to really be a great guitar player. Just strum the chords, sing the melody, and that would be okay.
Mm-hmm. Now, your voice is also your instrument. What do you do, if anything, to maintain your voice, both maybe when you're just laying back at home or when you are going to go on tour?
Well, it's interesting. When I'm on tour, I usually do some vocal warm-ups in the morning. I'm not on tour right now, so I didn't do any today, but normally that's what I would do. And then you're revealing all these things about me. First of all, I'm just like an average singer. And whenever something goes wrong, like if I can't hit the note and I'm at a gig, I'll just point to the microphone and move my mouth and just act like, hey, the mic's broke, the mic's broke. I'll go, oh my God, the mic's broke. Somebody fix it right now. So I got a lot of tricks on how to get out of that. But when you're in a band and you're the lead guy, you're the front man, you gotta sing. You gotta get up there and sing. So I don't think about it. I just do it, and as long as I do that, it's not hard. When you start worrying about how difficult it is difficult. But if you don't worry about it, you don't think about it, just do it. That's better.
Yeah. You know what I really like about you is your last name. You try to fit that into just about every word you can think of. Like, of course,
unbelievable.
We have Rekindled, and then you used to host and perform at the annual Kincert at the Shoreline Amphitheater. So I love reading things about you or that you've written because you fit your last name
into
into
all those 18 albums with Conspiracy, Consolidation. God, there were so many I couldn't even. You know who I love that? My mother. She just loved it. She would call me and suggest things like, how about kinetic energy? You like that one, Greg? Oh, yeah, okay, I'll write that down, okay, Mom?
Yeah, we're performing in...
I wish she was still around so I could bounce these new titles off of them. But she loved it. She thought it was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's great. You can have so much fun with that. I mean, if you're going to go on tour in Connecticut, you can play with that. We're going to Connecticut, things like that.
Yeah, or how about a live album live in Kentucky?
In Kentucky, that'd be fantastic. Now,
when I first started doing this, we cut the first album in like 75 or 76, and it was just called Greg Kihn. And then we cut another album, and it was like, well, what are we going to call the second one? So somebody suggested, well, why don't you call it Greg Kihn again?
Oh.
And then we got to the next one and said, what do you want to call this one? Why don't you call this one Next of Kin? So by that time, we'd already started out. We couldn't get off of that train. And it's been like 20 albums in the meantime, and we're still not running out of names. It's amazing.
I think it's fantastic, And looking back to Jeopardy, one of my favorite songs, just the beat and everything on it is great. And the video is such a classic 80s MTV video. Did you have a hand in writing the outline for that, the story for that video?
Yeah, I did. We had a guy named Joe Day who was our producer and director for the for the video. And we had a big meeting, I remember, a couple of days before the shoot. He says, well, what are you into? And what was I into? I was into horror movies, I was into like Night of the Living Dead. So I said, yeah, how about something like a horror movie? And they glommed onto that. And we basically made a low-budget horror movie in 2 days. And we did it at Mission Dolores Church, which is right downtown San Francisco. It's a world-famous church because it was the church in Dirty Harry. Remember the Dirty Harry movie?
Yes.
The guy?
With the big giant cross?
That's it.
Yeah.
That was it. And I got to tell you, I'm going, and this is something that I've had to live with ever since those days.
Uh-huh.
But I know that I'm going to hell for all the stuff that I did after hours in that church. Oh my God. The things we did in there, and, plus this was our partying days.
Yeah.
I mean, this was our cocaine and Jack Daniels days. Forget it. And we're in a church, a house of worship, breaking every law of God and man. I'm telling you, I'm going to hell for that.
We might have to save that for a whole nother interview, I think.
Or, yeah, exactly.
Even better, write it into a book.
There you go.
You ever?
I'm halfway through the next novel right now, and it's a real pip. I'm really enjoying it.
How about an autobiography?
Everybody's been asking me for that, and I keep saying there's no ending yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great story, but it's only in the middle right now. You got to have a big hit or something to wrap it up at the end. Mm-hmm. I love doing all of my things that I do in my life. They're all livelihoods, but I love writing, I love songwriting, I love playing the guitar, I love being on the radio. I just love all that stuff. It's not work to me, it's just fun.
Yeah, you know what they say, if you love what you're doing, you're going to be a success at it, and you're never going to work a day in your life.
Yep, and that's exactly that's what I'm doing. I'm living it right now, my friend.
Man, I tell you, I just want to thank you so much for talking with us today, man. You've been a blast, and I just hope you get your ass down here to Florida sometime, and definitely we got to keep in touch, man.
We're working on it, and I'm going to be talking to my booking agent later this week, and we'll see if we can put a little Florida pressure on the man.
Yeah, I mean, we have tons and tons of 80 bands that come through here. I mean, the Romantics, they play down here at least 3 times a year,
Really? What venues?
Oh, God. Well, we have Hard Rock Live. We got a big Hard Rock casino here. We have Pompano Beach Amphitheater, which I'm doing with George Thorogood on Friday. We have, oh God, there's big venues like BB&T Center and the AAA Center, which are big arenas.
Yeah.
But I mean, we have these great ones. Bayfront Park, we have a lot of amphitheaters here because, of course, it's Florida, so we have the great weather all the time.
Exactly.
Bayfront Amphitheater, we have the Meisner Park Amphitheater where Boy George and the Romantics are going to be Friday night as well. So we have tons and tons of great venues that seat, 5,500 people, and you come down, you could totally fill that up.
Well, that's beautiful, man. Well, you when you talk to John Blackman, you should say, hey, Greg said he needs a couple Florida gigs.
Absolutely. I'll talk to John, and we'll get working on that, man, because we love your music. Your energy is unbelievable. I mean, you're nonstop. You got your hands in a little bit of everything, which is great, so you're not boring. And
yeah, plus the band is really good these days. They're really tight. You'll be shocked. It's really good.
Wonderful, Greg. Hey, thanks again, my friend. We got to keep in touch, and I thank you so much. And we're going to get this wrapped up. We're going to have it up and running by tomorrow afternoon.
Beautiful. And thanks so much, Billy. And I just wanted to let all the fans know that you can get everything at gregkihn.com. You can get the books. You can get Rekindled, the new CD. You can get downloads. You can get my entire catalog, by the way, is now available at gregkihn.com. And you can get the books. So, I mean, I'm telling you, it's one-stop shopping.
Well, we're going to have videos on this page we're going to hook up for you. We're going to have this audio interview on there. So people don't have to read it. They can just click a button and listen to it. We're going to put links to your website. We're going to really take care of you, Greg.
Beautiful. Well, I really appreciate it, man.
All right, brother. Hope the road treats you well, and take care. Godspeed to you and the boys in the band. We'll see you soon, hopefully.
Thanks, man.
All right, later, buddy.
Talk to you later.
All right, cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.